Hello everyone. Today we are going to talk about what is usability heuristic for UX. Let's see what is usability heuristics about. So today we are going to look into three main sections: introduction about heuristics and what is heuristic evaluation and what are those heuristics principles are. So when we think about any digital product in UI, the following things comes in mind, right? Whether it is eye catching, do the colors complement each other, or does it have aesthetic appealing? This is true, but for a good design, but for a great design, we need to go extra mile. So by making sure your product is not only looks good, also provide a seamless user experience. So that is where the heuristic evaluations comes in. What is heuristic evaluation? 90s, Jacob Nielsen proposed 10 guidelines to help develop UX. So Jacob Nielsen is NN Group co-founder, leading UX research. He's leading one of a UX firm. And there are 10 heuristic evaluation or heuristic testing, we can say, or we can say rules of thumb of 10 heuristic evaluation. So that helps create any digital product more accessible, user-friendly, and intuitive. If product fulfill these 10 principles, then it's considered a complete product. So what are those heuristic principles? So as we discussed, there are 10 usability heuristic other principles testing, we can say. We'll look into each in the coming slides rather. First heuristic principle: visibility of system status. The user should have a visibility of what's going to happen in next, or it should be informed to make a user engage in the app. For example, if you take Uber Eats, we can see there are 5 steps will be in order to achieve this food ordering process. So now we are in the first step of the ordering process, and also it informs how long it takes, estimation, time arrives, and everything. So it's very well keep informed to the user whether what's happening, what's going to happen in the next 4 steps. User won't feel left out. Okay, this is what I'm going to get. So that is about visibility of system status. And next principle is match between system and the real world. For example, you can, for a save button, we are using a floppy disk icon, right? So that is very relatable to the real world. The system should resemble that experience that user already had an experience in the real world. Always use icons and other illustration that resonate with the real world. So user instantly recognize and understand what I'm trying to say, right? So for example, there's another word called skeuomorphism. Like skeuomorphism is basically mimic the physical world in the appearance of the behavior. For example, if we take our camera in the mobile, the click sound, right? That is normally DSLR camera and everything, that when you shoot a shot, it sounds like that. So similar sound, it resembles and it's easy to connect with the user, right? So that is the basic idea. So match between the system and the real world. So before moving to the next principle, let me show some meme. So if you show a floppy disk to a kid these days, he or she will definitely say, okay, wow, you made a 3D model of the save icon, right? So the third one, user control and freedom. So user should have a freedom to navigate any screen or go back or go forward or, undo, redo, and everything comes under this principle. For example, iPhone home screen, the version of the iPhones. So you can click and go to home screen anytime, any places, right? Application should be there for a user to navigate any places he wanted to go. That is rule number 3. And 4, consistency and standards. So for a good example is, we can consider Google Doc, Google Sheet, and Google Slides, right? Even though these different product, but the same company, right? So it's the same idea, the look and feel and the icon they have used and everything consistent to that product. So even the file, edit, view, insert, and everything similar. So any user that using a Google product can easily identify. They don't want to rethink about where the icons located or the file is located, and everything can be more relatable and user will easily understand. Unconsciously, he or she will get into the work done. So that is the consistency and standards. Let's move to the 5th one, error prevention. So imagine you have mistakenly hit the delete button for an important middle of the process. Then the error prevention method will save the user from getting frustrated. So that should be there in all the application or any actions that will really important to avoid from some errors. errors, right? So that is the basic idea of error prevention. Let's go to the sixth one, then recall. So you might have seen some, any popular search option in the popular product, you will see the recent search. So the user should not have to remember all the actions or functions of the system. Let's have a small reminder or information that can assist user to in navigate, and also the recent search will definitely help to get the things faster. So it will reduce the cognitive load of the user. So ultimately that will help to give a good experience to the user, seamless experience. So let's go to the seventh one, flexibility and efficiency of use. Most that inexperienced user needs to more detailed information, right? So whenever we use a new tool or something, we'll definitely not go for a shortcuts, but we'll go for a hard way of achieving that. But when we use the product long term, we'll get to know, okay, for example, copy means, okay, this is the shortcut of the copy. Throughout the application, these are very common knowledge, or rather we can say standard that we can follow in our application as well to make the process faster. So the eighth one, aesthetic and minimalistic design, to avoid unnecessary visual elements that overwhelm and distract users. In Airbnb, they have designed the homepage with high signal to notice ratio, which means very minimal, and you can achieve the things by looking at this screen, because the main purpose of the user is easy to achieve because of the minimal and clean design of the search, where the user select, place, check-in, and number of guests at ease. So we have a lot of free spaces. By the time we can achieve by, purpose is not sacrificed here. So that is about aesthetic and minimal design. And the ninth one, help user to recognize cover from errors. So example 404 error, right? So when in system we know went wrong, right? For example, if the internet connection is bad internet connection, we show the different error message. So we keep inform the user, to help the user to identify the exact error and suggest a way to get rid of that. If the user is not getting help from hand over error, they will definitely move away from the product. Okay, so this is the end of the product. So I don't know what's happening in the screen. So the user will definitely quit the application. So that is also one of the important principle. And the 10th and last, help and documentation. Even though the application is very well informed and having a good experience and everything, it's better to have the documentation, or frequently asked questions. That is one of the good examples that we should keep in the application to give further, let the user to inform further. So those are the 10 principles we have seen already so far in the heuristic evaluation. So the final thought, it is necessary to follow and keep in mind these principles from the beginning of the project or while doing the project, in order to avoid future adjustment or rework of the project. If for a project fulfill these 10 principles, then it's considered as a complete product. So thank you for your time. Have a nice day ahead.